Okay, want to welcome everybody. There's Keith just signed in. Everybody to Unconventional Wisdom, CSE Investment Podcast. And our participants here are getting on a little late. Keith just signed in. Cesar and Joni will be here in a minute. Hey, Keith, how you doing? If you want to call in and talk to myself or any of our people, call 214-377-1108. You can also send an email, and we will discuss your email on the podcast today. Or if you don't get it in while we're talking, just send it on in, and we'll get an email back to you, and then we'll discuss it on next week's podcast. I know Dirk's not going to be here today. He's down here in Puerto Rico, and he's with one of our clients. And Cezanne and Joni are going to be here, but they're not here yet. Keith, you're the one here. How you doing?
Doing all right, Joe. Doing all right.
You have any rain up there? You in a flood area?
Animals have been coming by 2 by 2. Yeah, I got tons of rain this last weekend and yesterday. So hopefully it'll let up for a couple of days. We've
been seeing it on TV, just incredible flooding. I've never seen anything like it. And we hadn't had any flooding. It's every morning here in Puerto Rico, we get a little light shower, and it's already come and gone. But back in Dallas, of course, it's triple digits again today, and it's supposed to be through the whole weekend, I think. So, it's interesting. I don't have a whole lot of fantastic, interesting stuff before I get to you guys. But I keep talking about how the brokerage business amongst the big Wall Street players, Wells Fargo and UBS and Merrill Lynch, is going downhill. Well, just more proof of it today. Several stories out on each one of those that they're really, really losing their consultants, and they're really, really having difficulty hiring new ones. One of the problems they're having is, remember we've talked about it in the past, the fiduciary rule, which was going to mean that these brokers actually had to be honest with their customers and look out for their interests first. Well, now all the major firms have abandoned that. Forget about the fiduciary. Forget about thinking about your customer first. And but when they do that, they go back to the old rule where you couldn't change firms and take your book of business with you. And so they've gone back to that. Now people can't leave and take their book of business. Well, the reason they're doing that is so it's not convenient for them to leave and go somewhere else, or just leave and go out on their own. So, hey, there's Randy. Hey, Randy.
Hey, Joni and Cezanne and me, we're having our own video call.
No, yeah, just Cezanne should be here any minute.
Well, we clicked on a different one, and we were talking to ourselves and saying ourselves. And, yeah, so we had to get out of this one.
I was just talking, Randy, about I've harped on this a long time about how your Main Street brokers, pretty much that whole business is going to change because it's no advantage for people to work for them anymore as brokers. UBS and Wells Fargo, which has all kinds of other problems, and Merrill Lynch have announced that their retention rates are almost nothing, and they're really, really having a tough time recruiting new brokers. And so they've given up the fiduciary rule. Remember, the fiduciary rule was going to apply to all brokers, and when you had the fiduciary rule, you had to treat your customers above yourself. Well, now they've just abandoned that and say, forget about the fiduciary rule. But when they forget about the fiduciary rule, then they go back to where the brokers, under the fiduciary rule, the brokers could take their book of business with them when they left. Now they can't. And the reason they did that is because they don't want the people to leave. Also, Amazon, and this is strange, Amazon is projected to take over Apple, be the first trillion-dollar company. And I looked up today, and Amazon is like 850 million, Apple's 950 million approximately. So I don't know how they're going to do that. It didn't seem that Apple would have much problems generating 50 billion and be the first one. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, Cezanne. Hey, Joni.
Hey, Joni or Marcus, Joni still does not have a invite. So if you'll text her directly and let her know what to do, because she asked me to ask you.
I will text her directly right now.
Thank you.
Cezanne, again, you're just a blob.
I know, and that's weird because my camera works. Like I shut the whole computer off, like I said too, and then I can't. So I wonder if it's just like a Google thing, but we'll figure it out. But for right now, I'm just going to be a ghost.
I've got a special guest today here with me, and Cezanne and Joni will know what I'm talking about here because they were friends with these folks, and I think Randy does too. Randy, you've heard of the Koki, right? Remember when you were down, those little creatures at night? Yeah. Okay, well, it's an interesting story. I didn't know this. And so my wife bought a couple of key rings for people. And I was reading on the back the story of the Koki. Here's a Koki. Now, a Koki, this is like a monster Koki. Kokis are about the size of a small fingernail, but they come out at night. And the story is, Koki facts, the Koki is a native little frog from Puerto Rico. Let's say it's about as big as a fingernail. It's known for its unique singing the males make at night. So only the males sing at night. The sound Koki, which is CO-KEE, serves two purposes. CO serves to repel other males and establish your territory, while key serves to attract females. So, hey, Joni, and let's hear what it sounds like here. Koki. That's it.
Well, it hurts my ears.
Yeah. Now, the way I figure this is useful, I'm going to bring everybody one of these going to come back. They're more useful for the men because this is only a male, right? And so you go to a bar at night. Let's say go out there in Cezanne's, Fayetteville, Arkansas, and go to a bar at night. You take this and you sit down at the bar and discreetly push the little button, you know.
Oh my God, you got to stop hitting that.
And what happens is all the males at the bar leave because it repels them. You know, it establishes your territory. All the females at the bar come over to you. It's going to be a fantastic thing. And, you know, when you use our techniques, you make so much money, it's even more so better. So, yeah.
Oh, stop. Oh, my gosh.
How can it be that bad?
Turn my volume down.
How are you doing today, Joni?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. You had a good trade yesterday.
I did. Yes.
Yep. And Cezanne, I don't think Cezanne's had a trade all week, has she?
Apple's acting a little bit crazy with earnings coming out Tuesday, but
yeah,
we're looking, we're waiting, but it's kind of straight up, straight down, so we have to be patient.
So, Randy, where are you today?
In Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
And how's your week been going?
Good. It's
good.
Kind of almost rains every day here, so it's nice and cool compared to 118 back in Phoenix. So
yeah, I know it's Bombardier. They've developed the people like American and some of the airline. You know, those airlines have problems going into Phoenix when it's so hot, particularly those smaller ones. They can't take off because they'll have like I think 12-degree temperature range or something like that they can't take off if it's hot. It'll be hot.
Too thin. They can't get any lift.
Yeah. So Bombardier has come up with a plane that's a little bigger than those normal commuter types they have, but they can take off in up to 121 degrees. And so a lot of them are buying those Bombardiers to replace those ones, particularly when they're coming out of Phoenix and up there. So
yeah, if it gets to 122, they close the airport.
Yeah. I don't know if John's going to be here or not. He got back from his air show. He said he may not be, but he got back from his air show and did a couple of trades. I sent them to y'all this morning, Joni. Do you have what they were? You want to turn your mic and say what they were?
Sorry, I was unmuting.
Okay.
He had 2 trades this week, and he was traveling and had things to do, but it was just a quick report. One of his trades was around 3 or 4%. Another one was about 24%. So in those 2 trades with a really very busy week, he was right above the 30% mark. So he's still living life. He's still traveling and paying for his bills while he does it.
Yeah. Because he just got back, I think, yesterday or day before yesterday from that air show.
Right.
And, so Keith, anything close out this week?
No, nothing closed out. The CMIC last week just way too low on premiums, and we're checking again this morning, see if we can do that. But premiums just have been so low, and which sort of surprised me last Thursday because the market was down that day. And usually when the market's down a bit, the premiums are up, but wasn't the case last week. So look again as soon as we get off the podcast here and see if we can get one open today.
Well, for the listeners out there, it's it's not important that you close something every day because all these folks have returns. There's nobody that doesn't have returns here that's less than for the first 6 months, 50 or 60%. And so you don't have to do a trade every day. You just do them right, and they have very, very few losses, so you don't offset profits with losses. If you want to go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com, sign up for free. The Cal Report, which comes out every Friday, it's dated for a Saturday, comes out every Friday. It shows you the emails to all these folks that you see on the screen today and what their answers are, what they're doing. You learn about all our programs, all our seminars, and everything that you can do by participating with CSE. And doesn't cost anything to sign up for that Cal Report. And it's been published. It'll be 20 years in January, almost as long as Randy's been with us. And so, Randy, there was a couple of emails came in right before Cezanne and Joni's seminar this morning, and quoting some trades they did, and they had some fantastic momentum trades and some micro moment trades. So, Joni, do you have those? Was it Kathy in Virginia or somebody? What did they do?
They did some Q positions on Monday. Kathy, I believe, had one for right around 2.5%, 3%. Yeah. And then Peggy did 2. So they're trading partners. She did 2 Q trades, and her totals were around 6.4%. So the 2 of them are trading together, and collectively, that's about 8 or 9%. Yeah, 8 or 9%. And here's the deal: most mutual funds don't make that much in a year. And so, you seem to get psyched out doing this stuff because you say, well, wait, they made 9% for the week. But now what happens? Well, nothing has to happen. They can quit right there, and they're above what your broker is going to do for you on the street. And because they're going into things that are speculating. Sometimes you're going to make a lot of money, and sometimes you're going to lose a lot of money. At the end of the day, if you end up making, at the end of the year, if you end up making 8 or 9% when it all nets out, it'd be surprising. So anyhow, okay. Cezanne, you're awful quiet now that you became a blob. See, look.
I'm on mute. I had to unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
It takes a minute to unmute it for some reason.
Yeah.
I know. I've got a blob, got no face. I don't know. It's hard to live that way.
Yep. Randy, is it? Are you getting rain over there too, aren't you?
Yeah, almost every day it rains a little bit, which is great. I mean, everything's so green here. It's really nice and keeps it cool. Hey, one thing I wanted to say, and we're in one of the momentum trades in JP Morgan still, and it's still going up. So we got the profits are just racking up on that. And one thing, when you talk about these profits, people are saying they have these profits and returns. Those are actual cash returns. Those aren't, hey, my value went up in my portfolio. Those are actually cash added to the account, because we're not in this to just have something go up. We're in it to get cash added to the account.
Yeah, and when Randy does a trade, in the same way with Cezanne, Joni, and Keith, you get notified 3 different ways. You get an email saying, what they're placing up, getting ready to do. Then you get another. And you really don't go by that. You just know they get ready to do that. You may get it after they've already done the trade, but you instantly get at the same time you get a smartphone message and a message on your trading screen, the same information. Okay, we're looking at this and we're getting blah blah blah. And then when they actually enter it, they say we're getting ready to enter. Then when they actually enter it, you get a notice so you can enter too. These are real trades they're doing. And then when you exit, they say we're getting ready to exit this, and then you do it too. And Randy's the same way. His are a little slower. He's got momentum trades, which are anywhere from probably 3 or 4 minutes to 3 or 4 hours. And then he's got his longer trades, which may be several days. And there used to be a long time ago, Randy, I talk about this all the time. A long time ago, almost 20 years ago, we said, look, if you can make 3%, 4%, 5% a month, that's 60% a year. You're doing fantastic with conventional covered calls. It was difficult because you had to, we don't use margin in regular covered calls. You got to buy the stock. Margin will kill you. And our techniques of managing things don't account for that. And that back then they didn't have many leaps, which now is you can leverage these things without borrowing money by using leaps. But Randy do a position. If we made 3%, 4 or 5% for the month on one position, and now. Back then, they didn't have weeklies. They just had the third Friday expirations. Now, every Friday's an expiration on a lot of positions, not all of them. And you can make that much in a week or more. Randy probably makes more like 9 or 10% a week on most of his positions. And same way with Joni. Joni and Cezanne's are real fast, but they only last, 10 seconds or so. Keith's are a little longer, but totally different trade. So you've got great diversity between the trades here, and you don't need to worry about, you read all the time, there's somebody out in like on CNBC, somebody says, people better be careful. The market's going to drop here. This is just too good. It's going to drop. Other people are saying it's just getting ready to take off. What these folks are doing makes no difference, because you're in there, like Randy says, you're in there for the cash flow, and you're not in there for trying to make money on appreciation or depreciation of stocks. You're just totally different concept. And so I don't think, Randy, you ever sat around and worry, I read where the market might drop out of the bucket here in a few days. You ever think about that?
No, because either we're doing the very fast ones based on the momentum on our charts, or doing deep in the money covered calls. And so the market can go down and we still get called out for all of our profit.
Absolutely.
Returned in cash. And
same way with Keith. All these techniques, you just, whatever the market's doing, and with our advanced charting and such, which you can subscribe to that off the website also, compoundstockearnings.com. You just follow the charts, and you learn. When you learn our techniques, you learn when the chart's telling you to do something. Because no matter if a stock's going up and down, the stock's going up, the highs get higher and the lows get higher. They're still going up and down. Stock's going down, the highs get lower and the lows get lower. They're still going up and down. So it makes no difference which way they're going in the long term, because we're just playing those ups and downs in the center. And that makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. So, yeah, okay. Cezanne, when do you think you're going to come out of your blob show?
Hey, I had to unmute. Well, I turned my computer all the way off and rebooted it, and my camera was working. So, but now it's not. So it may be like a Google specific thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you don't think this is really how you look now, is it?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what the problem is.
Okay. Okay. Well, if anybody else has any comments or anything to say, let's do it. If not, we will call it a day. And everybody's pretty well. I know Cezanne and Joni through for the day. Keith, you kind of hang around all day, or what?
Yeah, I do. Continually, watch the market. It may not be every minute of the day, but quite often. And I'm just looking through the CMIC, and it looks like it's marginal, but I might be able to get into one today. Yeah. So.
Now, Randy's there pretty much all day, because I know his emails on these trades come out all day. The people that subscribe to his services are really getting good service and a lot of trades. I guess, Randy, probably if somebody wanted to just sit there and do a whole lot of trades, you're the man. Wouldn't you say?
No, Joni and Cezanne's technique is the one that you don't want to do a whole lot of trades. But we have positions that come up, every day. So I have to keep people what I'm doing.
Hey, Joe, just a second ago, I heard an alert go on somebody's computer. What was that? Anybody?
Yeah, that was me sending out a trade.
He never quits. He's a dynamo.
No. Well, I'm just like Keith. You see us turning our head. That's because we're looking at our charts and stuff. And when we see something that's in a good spot, we get in and send it out. So we just let everyone know what we're doing.
Hey, so, let me ask you, Randy and Keith, you guys want me to get you a cookie so you can, when you go to
absolutely. But so because I can teach my grandson how to get those girls. See, I don't need to get one because I've already got a wife. So
it'll probably should drive the cats crazy in my house.
That's it.
Yeah,
good one.
Okay, well, thank y'all very, very much, and everybody tuned in. Thanks for that, and we'll see everybody next Thursday, 10 o'clock Central. Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Have a good week, everybody.
You too. Bye.